In the digital world he shines bright, full send all day and all night, conquering realms with all his might. Peacemakers here to make it right. Through the controllers battles begun, every click, every move he's won, streaming wisdom under the sun. Victory's anthem just has begun. Peacemaker gaming all day, sending full dose sway. In the virtual lands we play, leading the charge in our own way. Pixels and wires, his domain, glory found in every campaign, shelter from reality strain. With Peacemaker there's no pain. Battles fought in every zone, from his cherries never alone. Full send on the audio tone, Peacemaker's name is known. Eyes on screens, dreams he weaves. In his world you can't believe. Through the levels never leave. The magic of gaming we perceive. Peacemaker, gaming all day, send it full dose sway. In the virtual lands we play, leading the charge in our own way. Pixels and wires his domain, glory found in every domain, shelter from reality strain. With Peacemaker there's no pain. Battles fought in every zone, from his chair he's never alone. Full send on the audio tone, Peacemaker's name is known. Eyes on screen, strings he weaves. In his world you can't believe. Through the levels never leave. The magic of gaming we perceive. Battles fought in every zone, from his chair he's never alone. Full send on the audio tone, Peacemaker's name is known.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready here for the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race, as these drivers here at the Blackjack Racing teams coming together here for a beautiful event, some beautiful racings. The Blackjack Racing crew coming out and making this thing possible, and we love to see it here this evening. As a beautiful memorial race here in loving memory of Christopher Tucker, these drivers, friends, family, and teammates for a lot of racing action, a lot of days out there on the speedway and doing something that Chris absolutely loved, and that is being here on iRacing and running these big block modifieds. The 358 mods is what we normally see, you know, him and these drivers with the Blackjack Racing crew normally running night after night after night, and such a great competitor, fierce competitor out there on the speedway, and we love to be a part of this. We were happy to get a call up and be able to put this show on for all the fans in the stands and be able to celebrate Christopher Tucker's life and be a part of this memorial race here this evening. As Jason Hooker says, "What's up, teammates? Wish I could be there." Jason, we wish you were out there on the racetrack as well. We wish you were part of the show, part of the racing action here this evening. We still got a great field, a lot of great drivers ready to go to battle here this evening, ready to duke it out in the fashion that Christopher would enjoy. 100 laps of racing action here for our A-Main feature event here in his memorial race, as the big block modifieds live from Lanier National Speedway, ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here this afternoon, as this is going to be one heck of a race, one amazing show, and we got a lot of great drivers out there on the speedway looking and hoping to put together some absolutely amazing racing here this evening. We're going to pull in one of these drivers as well, one of the guys that made this possible, got a hold of me, got me into the booth here for this race, Mr. Zach Weisenflew. Let's see if we can pull Zach up here into the booth and get a little word in here from him. Hey Zach, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I gotcha.
Zach, man, a absolutely amazing event being put on here this afternoon. Now, we were just talking about how you were the man with the plan, trying to get this all together and helping, the entire Blackjack Racing community get this together here this afternoon, getting a hold of me, getting me up here into the broadcast booth. What does it mean for you and the entire Blackjack Racing community that this event is finally here, it's live, and you guys get to put on a great show in memory of one of your amazing friends?
Yeah, God bless Tucker. I mean, he was definitely one of the best teammates we had. He always made us laugh, and it was we kind of had the idea a couple months ago to have a memorial race for him, but it was definitely one of the best ideas we had, getting a broadcaster, getting this live, and getting it promoted for everyone so his family can see and we can show off some iRacing.
Absolutely, man. Obviously something that meant a lot to Chris himself, and having you guys being around him, night after night after night, being here on the simulator, man, and being able to put together a special event like this, definitely very, very special. Not only for me to be up here and be a part of it as a broadcaster, but for all of you guys out there on the racetrack and his friends and family tuning in and watching you guys battle out there on the speedway and seeing what he really enjoyed to do night after night here on the simulator.
Absolutely. Couldn't do this without the team Blackjack, Jim, Buddy, Cooper, Brady, everyone that's a part of it that really put this together and came together to get this race going and make it a good thing for his family so they can be a part of it. I felt like we were his second family. He was on every single night with us, making us laugh, crack up, have a great time. And, his family told us that he talked about us all the time, and we couldn't have asked for a better friend and better teammate to be a part of our iRacing family here, and without him, I don't think Blackjack would have been as strong as we are. And it's a great deal that we missed him, and his legacy is going to live on forever with all of his car schemes and everything that he had, all the memories, everything that he gave us.
Absolutely, man. Well, a very special event, an amazing race about to come upon us here. You guys are getting ready for qualifying in just a little bit. Zach, good luck out there. Have some fun. Enjoy the moment, and hopefully we'll see you and, two other amazing competitors up here in Victory Lane post-race.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Have fun.
Yep. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Zach Weisenflew, able to jump in here, give us a couple words right there, take us through, what it means for not only himself, but the entire Blackjack Racing community here, and what it meant to be, a part of Chris's, second family. Christopher Tucker Memorial Race officially underway, qualifying about to get underway here as practice just coming to a close, so these drivers are going to get an opportunity to jump out there onto the racetrack, lay down some great quick lap times out there on the speedway to try to put themselves into a great position here to start our heat races here this evening. Is Sarcy, what's good, Sarcy? Sarcy coming in, showing the love over there on Twitch. How are you, Sarcy? Coming in, showing the love here in this one. It's Sarcy setting it off over there on Twitch, coming in with a resubscribe. 3 months of being a subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming over on the Twitch stream. I appreciate that, Sarcy, coming in, showing the big love with that Prime sub over there on Twitch. Aaron Robinson, Aaron, what's good, brother? Says, what's up, Peacemaker? What's up, Aaron? How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the love here in this one as we get ready to go to battle. We get ready to duke it out here in this one. It's Kara Billy Tabor coming in with that thumbs up. We'll see Brad Hunt, my boy Brad Racing, coming in with that like as well. Craig Michael Deacon, how are you, Craig? Craig are coming in with that like on the stream, and Play for Cheats playing, showing the love here this afternoon, coming in with that like on the stream as well. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're just tuning in, make sure you guys do us a favor. It's absolutely free to do, helps us out a ton. Hit that thumbs up on the broadcast, hit that like, hit that share, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here this evening. As Barry Wallace says, let's go Brewer, cheering on Brewer out there on the speedway. Sarcy says, how are you? She says she's doing well and says, haven't seen you in forever. Sarcy, my girl, You're finally back in here. You're finally back in here. That's all that matters, my girl. Coming in, showing the love here in this one. I appreciate that and appreciate you coming in, showing the love here this evening. As drivers jumping out onto the racetrack, they get ready to just lay down some great lap times out there on the speedway, trying to put themselves into the top spot here, trying to get a great starting position. As right now, it is, now I may get some of these last names wrong. I do apologize if I get them wrong, as Brian Romer. Brian Romer coming in now, currently the quickest driver out there on the speedway. Adam Bradley, the guy who shares the exact same name as my brother, Adam Bradley, out there on the speedway, currently rolling in position number 2. Mason Cassidy now into that third spot as Jim Boniface gonna jump back out there onto the racetrack. That 2-1-3, the Ken's locking ride, looking to lay down another great lap time, and Jonathan Cooper out there on the speedway sporting the same number that we knew Chris Tucker loved to run in that 10 machine out there on the speedway. Zach Weinzenflew there in the 24 ride. The Blackjack Racing machine jumps out onto the racetrack. Currently 10th quickest is Mike Brewer. He's out there as well. That Full Throttle Motorsports number 39 ride currently sits in 11th. And Zach Weinzenflew jumps up into second. Weinzenflew into that second spot right behind Brian Romer there for that top spot here in qualifying. We do see Spanky out there on the racetrack as well. Spanky in that number 12 ride. He sits in 13th as Mike Brewer jumps up inside the top 5. Brady Cornett looking for a big run here in that 2 ride as he gets rolling down the front straightaway, hoping to get some extra speed and hoping to move forward a little bit more here in this qualifying effort. Unfortunately, does not find any extra speed that time around the racetrack. We'll see if he can find a little extra here on the next lap. See if he can lay down a heater here and move a little closer to the front of the field. Doesn't look, oh no, he does, jumps up into third. A great lap right there for Brady Cornett, and he jumps into that third spot here in the qualifying session. Spanky Garnett into position number 13 here on the speedway, as we did see Jim Bailey pops out there on the racetrack as well. Jim unfortunately back in that 19th spot. We'll see all these drivers though in our A-Main feature event. Each and every one of them will get an opportunity to race in this feature event. It's Sarcy coming in, showing the love here with that like on the stream over on Facebook, and Chris Tucker coming in with that like as well. Chris showing the love here this afternoon as well. As Sarcy, always good to see you, always amazing to have you in the chat. Whether or not you're just tuning in and watching, I appreciate it, my girl, always showing the love and spreading the love in the chats here each and every one of these nights. As Barry Wallace cheering on Brewer out there on the speedway. Chris Rucker also cheering on Brewer here this evening as they're cheering on that 39 run, as we do see Spanky Garnett. I don't know if that's his actual real first name, but here in SDK it is telling me that it is Spanky Garnett who is in this 12 ride, the Blackjack Racing ride. Currently sits in 13th, as right now it is still Brian Romer here with the quick time here in qualifying, looking to get set up perfectly here for our first heat race of the day. Now we will have an invert for our top 10 when it comes down to our feature event. So when it comes to these drivers getting a good finish in these heat races, it can hurt them or it can help them if they kind of fall back to that third, fourth position. Maybe that can move them a little closer to the front of the field to start this A-Main feature event. As qualifying coming to a close, that means we're going to get ready to rock and roll here with our first heat race of the day, our first heat race of the evening, and we're going to go to a different banner here as well. Let me make sure we get the writing right on this. Alrighty, so we're going to get rid of the top banner. We're going to go to the NASCAR Tower here, make it a little bit easier for you guys, and a lot of times it makes it nice and easy for the names, the numbers, everything else. Sometimes it doesn't like the work. The overlay doesn't like the work going straight on through with some of that stuff. So we're going to make sure that we get that fixed up, that it's working well here for us this afternoon, especially throughout our heat races. And then into our A-Main feature event, we will go back to the other overlay there. So we're going to be mixing it up a little bit here this afternoon. As Mary Ann Tucker says, Chris Tucker's parents is watching on his account. We love it. Chris Tucker says Chris's dad is watching. We love it. Having Chris's dad, his mom, his friends, his families, and so many of his loved ones in here watching, cheering these drivers on, and loving every moment that these guys are putting on for him here this afternoon. The Christopher Tucker Memorial Race here by the Blackjack Racing community, showing the love, the appreciation, and celebrating the life of Christopher Tucker here this afternoon. And our hearts, our prayers, everything goes to not only these drivers out there that are so emotional. We heard some of these guys pre-race and just how emotional they were talking about Chris and talking about what he meant here to not only themselves but to the entire Blackjack Racing community is an amazing thing. And having his family in here watching and tuning in, watching these drivers out there on the speedway is absolutely amazing as well. As quickly we will see that green flag fly here in heat race number 1. As heat race number 1, it's going to go quickly here, only 8 laps of racing action, and it's Brian Romer who leads the way. The 2 of Brady Cornett quickly slides into second, trying to track down that number 4 ride as he sticks right through his back bumper. Jim Boniface now up into third here as Mason Cassidy slides back to fourth. Here comes Buddy Mills Jr., the Blackjack Racing number 51 ride, into position number 5 on the racetrack as he's able to roll around that 99 of Brandon Weatherford. Weatherford slides back into 6 as Spanky Gurnett there in position number 7. Mike Stryker back there in the 8th position, and Pops there in position number 9. And look at that beautiful paint scheme here on that car, celebrating the life of one of his good friends, a driver that called him Pops here, and that's what he told me pre-race. He talked about the nickname that Christopher Tucker gave him here on the simulator, and he calls him Pops, and we love to see that Pops out there on the speedway sporting such a beautiful paint scheme out there on the racetrack. As Robbie Audrey right there behind him, back in that 127 ride, rolls at the rear of the field in that 10th position. Pops right there in front of him, as out in front it is Brian Romer. Romer continuing to lead the way here in this one, is down the back straightaway, nice and easy down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. He will click off another lap here at the beautiful Lanier National Speedway, as down through corner number 1 and out of 2. He'll take us down the back straightaway, has Jim Boniface right there behind him, trying to hunt him down, as out of corner number 4, the 4 ride will see that white flag fly here in heat race number 1. So quickly, heat race number 1 coming and going, is down the back straightaway. Brian Romer looking for the heat race win. He'll round corner number 4 in that 4 ride, and he will pick up the first heat race win here this afternoon with the Chris Tucker Memorial Race. Jim Boniface there in second, Brady Cornett, Buddy Mills Jr., Brandon Weatherford rounding out our top 5, and that may be a prime position to be in, as this invert for our main feature event may flip-flop these drivers, and we may see that car that came home in 5th starting towards the front of the field here this evening. As we get ready here for heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 going to get loaded into the sim. Each and every one of these drivers looking for the win in our second heat race of the evening in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. And Zach Weisenflew will lead us down to the green flag. You'll have Adam Bradley there to his outside. Mike Brewer going to start in position number 3 with Will Bennett there in 4th. Jason Rominger, hopefully I'm saying that right, Rominger, there in position number 6, starting there in 10th in that 10 ride is Jonathan Cooper. Cooper will start there in that 5th position. And then we see that 3 machine of Mark Benston. Benston will start there in 7th. Randall Dixon back in 8th. And Danny Clark bringing up the rear of the field there in the 75 ride. As these drivers get ready to go back to battle, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys know what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to go back to battle. As Zach Weisenflew, Mary Ann Tucker, Will Bennett, and Adam Oxley all coming in, showing the love here in this one. Oxley, Tucker, and Weisenflew with the likes on the stream, and Will Bennett becoming a brand new follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Is down out at corner number 4. We will see that green flag fly once again here at Lanier National Speedway. Quickly, Zach Weinson flew onto the loud pedal, looking to lead us down and out at corner number 2, but quickly, that 0-1 of Adam Bradley on his back bumper, now taking a look down to the inside. The 0-1 of the 24, door to door, down across the line as drivers starting to edge up a little bit higher here, trying and testing that outside lane up there towards the outside fence, looking to carry all that speed and momentum that these big block modifieds produce here under the hood as contact back there behind him. Randall Dixon up and off the racetrack in the 11 ride for a split second, but able to keep that car pointed in the right direction, keeps on rolling. The 3 ride of Mark Benston also getting some damage, in that 112 of Jason Rominger also getting some damage there as well. A tough break for them as they slide a little farther backwards, as out in front, Zach Weisenblue continues to lead the way, now starting to separate himself ever so slightly in front of Adam Bradley as Bradley rolls there in position number 2. Here comes that 22 as Will Bennett looking to try to move himself a little closer to the front of the field. Sits in that 3rd position as Jonathan Cooper back there in position number 4 and looking for more as he battles door to door with Mike Brewer. Unfortunately, Brewer early on down a couple spots here on the speedway in the FDM 39 ride, falls back into that 5th position. He's trying to find something through the middle of this racetrack, trying to find a way back around that 10 ride of Jonathan Cooper to jump back into that 4th position here this evening. Unfortunately, it looks like Jason Rominger potentially having some more problems back here. That 112 right now bringing up the rear of the field. Randall Dixon right there in front of him, the 011 trying to find his way around that 75 right as the white flag has been displayed for Zach Weisenflew. Weisenflew down through 3 and out of 4. He will pick up the checker flag here in heat race number 2 of the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. So Weisenflew able to pick up that 2nd heat race win with Adam Bradley, Bennett, Cooper, Brewer rounding out our top 5. Benston, Clark, Dixon, and Rominger bringing up the rear of the field there in our 2nd heat race of the evening. We will now load up these drivers and jump out onto the racetrack here for a quick warm-up session. These drivers are going to be jumping out there onto the racetrack. I do believe they got something special lined up here as well for this warm-up session. We'll see them roll out there onto the racetrack as all these drivers getting ready to head out onto the speedway and getting ready here for potentially a little warm-up, potentially a little something special here in memory of Christopher Tucker. Everyone's going to kind of get lined up together. I do believe potentially a 4-wide salute or a missing man salute here this afternoon. Everyone trying to figure out where they need to be on the speedway. Everyone trying to get lined up and waiting for everyone to jump out there onto the racetrack is Christy Tucker Gonzalez. Says, Chris's sister here, I can't thank you guys enough for showing love and support for Chris. He spoke so highly of his racing family. Christy, we love to have you guys up here in the chat, and we love to be a part of this and being able to bring you guys the action and the racing here in this very special event, man, and showing you how much these drivers loved and cared about Chris himself, as we do see that missing man formation out there on the speedway as these drivers going to go around the beautiful Lanier National Speedway. We'll see if we can get some of these drivers towards the front of the field. There we go. We do see Jim Bailey pops up there on the extreme high side, the 10 ride that we normally saw Chris running up there at the front of the field, same with that 51 ride. So he was normally in the 10 and the 51, both of those cars up at the front of the field sporting the paint schemes that we saw Chris Tucker use. And then that beautiful ride from Pops up there on the high side, celebrating the memorial race and Chris Tucker's life here this evening. You see him riding on board that right rear and left rear quarter panels here of that car as the missing man formation 4-wide salute here this afternoon. Chris riding here with each and every one of his friends out there on the speedway, down on the inside here in this warm-up session, getting ready to go green flag racing here at Lanier National Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, absolutely heartwarming moment out there on the racetrack. This is what racing community is about, man. This brings a tear to my eye. I'm getting choked up here in the broadcast booth just watching these guys put on this such a special event and doing so many special things here to celebrate their friend their family, their racing family here this evening. As we'll take a look here at that. Oh, well, we're a little too close there to the 51 car, but there we go. You get a great look. Chris there, beautiful young man, unfortunately took in way too soon, and we see him out there on the racetrack. Riding on board here with Pops this afternoon as these drivers, they're going to get their warm-up session in after that beautiful missing man formation 4-wide salute here at Lanier National Speedway. They're all going to get some racing in here now as they're going to quickly make sure that their cars are absolutely picture perfect here for this A-main feature event with Chris Tucker riding on board here with Pops this afternoon. Jim Bailey having him on board that car, running that 360 paint scheme here this afternoon in memoriam of Chris Tucker. As we see these drivers out there, they're just making sure their cars are ready to roll. They're making sure that these things are absolutely picture perfect and ready to race. Here this evening is a 100-lap A-main feature event about to get underway. 100 laps of racing action here in just a little bit for all of these amazing drivers. As Carissa says, let's go Brewer, cheering on Brewer out there on the speedway. And I'm Sutton says, hey, good to see some dirt racing. Week 13 has been boring AF, laugh out loud, says Sutton. Yeah, Sutton, I can only imagine, man. Back in my old days when I used to race, I'm sure I probably even raced with Christopher Tucker out there on the racetrack. I knew the name really did sound familiar. I'm sure I ran a ton of these Blackjack Racing races back in the day when I actually got behind the wheel and ran myself, and seeing these guys out there on the speedway just having some good fun, rolling out there on the speedway, now getting their cars warmed up, ready, making sure they make any changes, make their cars that much better, that much faster out there on the speedway. As Chris says, rest in peace, Chris Tucker. Yes, definitely rest in peace, Chris Tucker. And hopefully he's up there in heaven looking down on all of his friends here this afternoon, and all of his friends and family tuning in and watching this event, and having a big, big smile on his face, and seeing some great racing, and seeing his Blackjack Racing community and family come together here this evening for such a special event here today, as we get these drivers out there on the racetrack, each and every one of them getting practice up and ready to run here, ready to roll in just a few more moments as we'll get ready to duke it out here. The warm-up session coming to a close, and that means we'll get ready for our A-main feature event. Our A-main about to get underway here this evening, and that means the action is just about to get started, ladies and gentlemen. The fun is just about to start here this afternoon for these Blackjack Racing drivers for the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. I'm trying to make this a little smaller for us up here in that top left, but having a little bit of a struggle trying to get it up there. But nonetheless, we will get these drivers ready to rock and roll. They are going to get ready to go to battle here this evening as 100 laps of racing action here this afternoon for the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race, powered by Blackjack Racing community here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. In the invert, going to work out perfectly for all of the Mike Brewer fans in the stands here this evening is the invert, the top 10 inverting here this afternoon in the Full Throttle Motorsports. Number 39 of Mike Brewer will now start in that pole position. Not the heat race that he was hoping for, but he ends up starting here out in front of the field, looking to try to pick up the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race win here this evening. As to his outside, in the number 99 ride, it is Brandon Weatherford who will start there in second. Starting in third, that is Jonathan Cooper who will start in that third spot out there on the speedway, as looks like he's going to actually take the outside lane. The 99 is going to go down to the bottom lane as we do see Buddy Mills, Will Bennett, Brady Cornett, Adam Bradley, Jim Boniface, Zach Weisenflew, and Mason Cassidy rounding out our top 10, getting ready to go Green Flag Racing. Brian Romer back there in 11th with Spanky Garnett back there in 12th. Mark Benston, Mike Stryker, Danny Clark, Jim Bailey, it's Pops back there in the 16th position, Randall Dixon, and Robbie Audrey, and Jason Rominger bringing up the rear of the field in the 112 ride. As we will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. Mike Brewer leads us down the back straightaway nice and easy down through 3 and out of 4. He watches up the racetrack but will lead lap number 1 here from Lanier National Speedway. Brewer out in front of the field showing these drivers how to get it done, but already feeling pressure from that 10 ride of Jonathan Cooper. As Cooper back there on his back bumper trying to get that outside lane rolling, hoping to find a groove here on the top side of the racetrack. Looking for these big runs down the straightaways and trying to pull up dead even with that 39 ride. As he gets a little bit tight down on the bottom side of corner number 3 and 4, it opens up the door and we get a new race leader. The Blackjack Racing number 10 rider Jonathan Cooper now out in front leading the way in that 10 ride. The number we saw Christopher Tucker racing majority of the nights here on iRacing, now leading the way here in a race for him. As right there in that 3rd spot, you do see the other Blackjack Racing 99 ride. That is Brandon Weatherford trying to take over position number 2 as Mike Brewer trying to hang on to that 39 ride, sliding down through the slick stuff in the middle of the racetrack. Unfortunately for some of these drivers, it could come down to a little bit of strategy here this evening, knowing that there is 100 laps of racing action they may need to take care of their equipment. They may need to make sure that they have some tire left for late in this race. 100 laps around this racetrack, especially for how slick it gets in a quick hurry out there on the speedway. They may have some problems late in this race. The grip levels are gonna dive down in a quick hurry, so taking care of your equipment, taking care of your car out there on the speedway is going to be one of the key things. And right now looks like Mike Brewer just trying to roll that inside the middle lane, trying to keep that car as straight as possible. Is up on the high side. That 10 ride of Jonathan Cooper continue to lead the way and trying to stretch out that race lead is Brandon Weatherford trying to hunt him down. Brewer there in 3rd as here comes Will Bennett. Will Bennett now into position number 4 as he races down to the inside of that 51 ride of Buddy Mills Jr. Buddy rolls there in that 5th position, working and getting those good runs on the outside lane, trying to stay right in front of that 22 ride of Bennett there inside the top 5. As Brady Cornett in the 2 ride rolls in position number 6, he's got Zach Weisenflew down to his inside as Weisenflew down low, trying to get that beautiful Blackjack Racing ride up a little closer to the front of the field. Adam Bradley kind of looking there in the middle as we did see some 3-wide racing out there on the speedway. Still 3-wide down through the center of these corners as Adam Bradley pokes his nose right there into the middle of the racetrack. We do see Jim Boniface, Brian Romer rounding out our top 10 as Mason Cassidy, Spanky Garnett, Mike Stryker back there in position number 13. Randall Dixon and Pops back there in the 15th spot as Danny Clark, Mark Benston coming together right there. A little contact down the back straightaway. Both drivers able to keep their cars pointing in the right direction as they got a little tied up, a little bit of damage there, but able to keep on rolling as Danny Clark now going to move into 17th. Jason Rominger back into position number 18 and Robbie Audrey back there in position number 19 in the 127 ride. Everyone doing a fantastic job, clean and green racing here in this feature event. As Ron H says, play it smart, Mike. Play it smart out there on the speedways. Ron H also says condolences to Chris's family, and the Redneck says Benston gonna finish last. No hope for Benston out there on the speedway as we see our first caution flag of the day. Around goes the 75 ride. Danny Clark gonna go for a spill down the front straightaway here. Let's take a look back and see what brings out our first caution flag of the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. Danny Clark running into some issues here. The 75 ride down, rolling the inside lane here, trying to keep that car out of trouble. Looks like trouble may find him up the racetrack. Unfortunately, drives into the side of that 3 ride. They stack up back there behind him as the 112 and 127 slam into him there in the outside of the front straightaway. Unfortunate contact for all 3 drivers. Luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage to any one of them, and they'll keep on trucking here this afternoon as we'll get these drivers stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. As the Redneck says, Danny still knocking the dust off, still just knocking the dust off, getting getting back into the swing of things. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're enjoying tonight's racing action, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that follow and subscribe button as we go back to Green Flag Racing. Jonathan Cooper onto the loud pedal, looking to try to pull once again away from the rest of the field, but the caution flag will come right back out. Now, I don't know if someone went around down through corner number 1, but it looks like potentially the admin crew not liking that restart right there, as the 10 ride has that front lane all by his lonesome here. A Delaware final restart. Let's take a look here from the front of the field. Looks like contact right there. Watch that 12 ride deeper in the back. I do believe that is the 12 machine of Spanky Garnett here. Unfortunately, looks like he's going to try to get underneath a couple of drivers trying to make some moves, and he's going to end up clipping that inside fence there on the pit entry. That really bust things open right there. Really made things get a little squirrely on that restart. The admin crew quickly throw that caution flag, making sure that things stayed nice and easy out there on the speedway. No one else got tore up out there on the racetrack. As we will get them stacked up, we will get them racked up, and we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. As everyone catches up to the back bumper here of our official iRacing pace truck, and we'll get ready to go back to battle here this evening. Some great racing action. These big block modifieds live from the beautiful Lanier National Speedway, man. No better place to be on a Sunday afternoon than up here in the broadcast booth, putting on a great show for a great cause here as the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race fully in swing here this evening. And so far we've seen nothing but great racing action, and like what we normally see here with the Blackjack Racing crew is some good, hard, clean racing out there on the speedway. Very respectful, very cool, calm, and collective drivers out there on the speedway, and just showing you what the racing action is like here in the Blackjack Racing community. As quickly Jonathan Cooper sees that green flag fly once again down out of corner number 4. He gets back onto the lap pedal, leads us down into corner number 1 and out of corner number 2. We'll clear that 39 right on Mike Brewer, as Brewer was poking his nose down low looking for a big run out of that super dark car number 39 ride, as the Full Throttle Motorsports 39 machine of Brewer continues to work that inside lane, trying to work his way back around that 99 ride of Brandon Weatherford, using that outside groove, getting up into the outside fence ever so slightly there, down through corner 3 and 4, opening up the door for Mike Brewer to get a run again down to the inside. As here comes Brady Cornett. He has now raced his way inside the top 5 here on the speedway in a battle of the 20s. The 24 down low, the 22 up on the high side. It's Will Bennett and Zach Weisenflew battling here for position number 5 on the speedway. But they're 2, 3, almost 4 wide out there on the speedway is the 0-1 of Adam Bradley, going to poke his nose right into the middle of the battle. As there you go, Mike Brewer fans down low. He's going to make that pass and clear the 99 ride of Brandon Weatherford. Weatherford slightly giving up on that outside groove, starting to move down to the middle here. We're going to see that throughout the evening. Drivers trying to find some grip, trying to find the best lane around the racetrack and seeing where they can find that speed to try to work their way to the front of the field. As Mike Brewer able to again hold off that Blackjack Racing, the Tucker Memorial Race 99 ride, back there in position number 3 on the speedway. Brady Cornett there into position number 4, and looking for more is Zach Weisenflew right there in his tire tracks. Weisenflew up on the high side, a big run down the back straightaways. Adam Bradley works down to his inside. Brian Romer back up into 7th here as our first heat race winner of the day started back in that 10th position, now trying to work his way a little closer to the front of the field as the Dent Zone MJ12 number 4 machine rolls there in that 7th position, slowly but surely racing his way up to the front of the field. And Spanky Garnett back there in position number 8. Jim Boniface back in 9th, and unfortunately Will Bennett sliding backwards here. The 22 ride just hanging on to that 10th position, but has that number 15 down to his inside. Mike Stryker able to jump up into that 10th position as the 22 ride, the WBCD number 22, slides back to 11th. Now has the 17 of Mason Cassidy, the 51 of Buddy Mills right there behind him, as here comes Pops. Jim Bailey there in position number 13 now, as he's able to slide around that 51 of Mr. Buddy Mills Jr. here on the racetrack. Here comes Jason Rominger as he's up into the 14th position in that 112. Buddy Mills continue to slide backwards as he's got that Bulldog paint scheme here. A paint scheme that we saw Christopher Tucker running a lot here in his iRacing career with that Bulldog on board the 51 ride. Buddy Mills rolling back there in that 15th position, looking to have a good, clean run and potentially trying to save some tire for late in this race. As Danny Clark back there at 16th. Mark Benston there in 16th now as they battle door to door for that 16th and 17th spot on the speedway. The 0-11 rider Randall Dixon back there in the 18th position in the 127, bringing up the rear of the field there in 19th. As out in front, it's still Jonathan Cooper. Cooper continues to lead the way as the 10 ride out in front. He has a 1.2 second lead, keeping all these drivers back there behind him as after he got that race lead, he has not looked back and continuing to show these drivers how to get it done here this evening. Brandon Weatherford there in second with Brady Cornett now up into position number 3 as they're able to work themselves around a bunch of these drivers and now see that Cornett ride into that 3rd position, but feeling the pressure quickly from that 0-1 of Adam Bradley. As Bradley working that inside lane, we do see Zach Weinsen flew back in position number 5 on the speedway. Brian Romer now into 6th with Jim Boniface there in 7th. Spanky up into 8th as Mike Brewer slides all the way back now into position number 9. We were thinking there was someone missing outside of that top 3, top 5 here, and unfortunately for the FTM, the Full Throttle Motorsports Expert Installation number 39 ride, that Super Dirt Car Machine of Mike Brewer now falling back 8 spots and in to position number 9 on the speedway. Mike Stryker now back there behind him, trying to hunt him down for that 9th position as Will Bennett and Mason Cassidy just on the outside of the top 10 looking in. Same with Pops as he rolls back there in 13th in that 360. Christopher Tucker Blackjack Racing ride there in that 13th spot. Jonathan Cooper though out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here at Lanier as that 10 ride continues to lead the way, showing these drivers that he is the car to beat here this evening. As these drivers putting on a great run, a great show here this afternoon. These drivers putting on a heck of a race, man. So far, only one real caution flag out there on the speedway, and other than that, it's been great racing action door to door out there on the speedway. Good, hard, respectful racing, as Ron H says. Brewer all send Aunt Kelly across the field with an extension cord to keep you on the air. Laugh out loud. Let's go. Bringing the extension cord, making sure that he is not going to lose connection or lose power here this afternoon. Unfortunately there for Ron H. Watching Mike Brewer slide back to that 9th position, hoping that maybe he's got a little something left in the tank for late in this race and maybe will make a late race charge back to the front of the field. As everybody hunting down Jonathan Cooper, Brandon Weatherford doing a great job holding on to position number 2. Brady Cornett back there in 3rd with now Zach Weinsenflew into position number 4 and looking for more is Adam Bradley. Jim Boniface in that 213 ride back there in position number 6. That 4 ride of Brian Romer slides back into position number 7 with Mike Brewer, Spanky Garnett, and Mike Stryker rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Cooper though leads the way, is down across the line. They will click off another lap and down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. The 10 ride across the line will bring lap number 50 up onto the board. We're halfway in and halfway to go, and we see a caution flag fly. The caution flag coming out here in this one for the 2nd time here technically this afternoon. So our 2nd caution flag for incident out there on the speedway. Let's take a look and see what happens and who gets collected here in this one. As a tough break here for somebody out there on the speedway, or potentially just a halfway marker here to maybe just bring these drivers back together. Let's take a look through the field. We didn't see anyone back here deeper in the field go around or run anyone really run into issues, so this may have just been a bit of a stage break right here. Potentially just a caution flag to kind of bring everyone back together, keep everyone kind of on the lead lap and everyone competitive here this evening. So a bit of a mandatory caution flag right there, keep keeping the field together, keeping everyone in the action here this evening, as we were seeing our race leader Jonathan Cooper start to run into a little bit of lap traffic, but now with that caution flag, he's going to have clear track right back in front of him as we are quickly back to green flag racing. The green flag quickly coming back out here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. As that 10 rider Jonathan Cooper continues to lead the way, we are more than halfway through this race and halfway in, halfway to go here this evening in this Christopher Tucker Memorial event. We're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up, as DD says they always do a caution at halfway. That is great information to know. I don't think I knew that, so I'm glad you hopped in there. Just a midway point caution flag. Bring this field back together, stack these drivers back up, and create some more great racing out there on the speedway, as we're going to jump into our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hit that like button, hit that share button, and let's see some rest in peace, some RIPs up in the chat for Christopher Tucker here in his memorial race, and let's see some cheering on some of these drivers here. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you want to see up in victory lane picking up the win here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution flag is going to fly. The Crank It Up caution curse here on Peacemaker Gaming is going to continue. As that yellow flag flies, let's take a look back and see what happens here as we are 60 laps into this A main feature event. And unfortunately, our third caution flag of the day here, our second one for incident out there on the speedways. It looks like potentially that 011 ride of Randall Dixon running into some problems here. Keep an eye on that 011 machine down into corner number 1 and 2. Contact in front of them. They start to stack up as the 15 ride sideways there on the racetrack. They all pile in there, and unfortunately, with that 011 ride stopped on the racetrack, that's where we see that caution flag come back out. So for the Gears Unlimited LFM Vitality Motorsports 011 machine, a tough break there in that one. Some pretty good damage out there on the racetrack as we quickly go back to green flag racing. We'll continue on with the Peacemaker Gaming crank it up here this afternoon in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. Alrighty, as a little bit of three-wide action here at the front of the field. We saw that two-rider Brady Cornett, the 24, Zach Weisenflew, trying to take this race lead away from the 10-rider Jonathan Cooper, but Cooper not giving an inch out there on the speedway will keep that 10 ride at the front of the field and continue to lead this race. As Cooper out in front, Cornett and Weisenflew still door-to-door back there for position number 2 as they look to try to hunt back down that 10 ride for the race lead. Cornett up to the extreme high side here, looking for a big run on the outside. Now 3 wide out of corner number 2 for that third spot. As down low, here comes Jim Boniface. Here comes the 17 of Mason Cassidy. As all these drivers doing a fantastic job battling here at the front of the field, putting on one heck of a show for us here this evening. A huge shout out to all these drivers. A beautiful Peacemaker Gaming crank it up session right there as we see that battle starting to brew once again here at the front of the field. That 10 ride up on the extreme high side. Zach Weisenflew down on the bottom looking for the race lead as they battle door to door down the back straightaway into quarter number 3. Weisenflew looking to take this race lead away. Will he clear that 10 ride? Is down across the line. We will get a new race leader here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. Now we're starting to see a couple more drivers come into play here in this one. Jonathan Cooper is going to have to be careful here. He may slide back a little bit farther as he's got Jim Boniface right there looking to his inside in that 17 ride right there as well. Mason Cassidy looking to try to move himself into that third spot on the speedway. Brady Cornett falls back into that 5th position as Adam Bradley there in 6th. Brandon Weatherford all the way back into 7th with Mike Brewer there in position number 8 on the speedway. As Carissa says, Brewer is a patient, silent killer. Watch out. He may make a move here late in this race, especially with another caution flag flying on the racetrack. That will stack these drivers once again up. Nose to tail and door to door out there on the speedway. As the 127, and I do believe potentially that 3 ride going to run into some problems here. Let's take a look back and see what happens as drivers trying to keep themselves pointed the right direction deeper through the field. The 127 into the corner. The 3 ride kind of loses the rear end, washes up over the nose there of that 127 ride. Unfortunately there for Benston and this 127 machine. Pretty solid contact right there. And unfortunately both drivers going to have some issues, some contact, some damage, and that will bring out our caution flag here once again this afternoon. There's the contact. The 3 ride, the 127 ride, both going to go around here on the racetrack as the 3 gets into the inside fence there pretty heavily. See that car jump up onto 2 wheels right there, and hopefully not too much damage to that left front. As we'll get them stacked up, we'll get them racked up, and we'll quickly go back to Green Flag Racing here with the Blackjack Racing group. As there's no waiting around, no patiently waiting for that green flag to come back out, and the battling once again commences here at Lanier National Speedway. Zach Weisenflew, Mason Cassidy now 1 and 2 on the speedway. Jim Boniface trying to hold on to position number 3 now on the speedway, trying to see if he can find a little bit more, see if he can race his way up to this front of the field here as he wants to get around that 17 ride of Mason Cassidy and see if he can work himself around that 24 of Zach Weisenflew. But right now as Jonathan Cooper down to his inside. Now Cooper going to try the outside down through 3 and 4. Drivers searching around the racetrack, trying to find as much grip as possible, looking for what they can out there on the speedway as the laps continue to get clicked off and we edge closer and closer to the checkered flag. Is only 20 more laps of racing action left here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race in 2025 as these drivers roll down through corner number 1 and out of corner number 2. It's Zach Weisenflew who continues to lead the way here in this one, but feeling the pressure as the 17 of Mason Cassidy down low, looking to see if he can try to take this race lead back away. For Zach Weisenflew, a driver who has been around the block for quite a while. He's been in a lot of big races, but here tonight, such a special event for what it would mean to him. Picking up this win would be absolutely amazing to have him up here in the broadcast booth. But for Mason Cassidy, Jim Boniface, 2 extremely tough competitors, 2 drivers that are in that 6,000 I rating category here, almost 300 or 3,000 I rating more than Zach Weisenflew. They're looking to go to work, looking to figure out a way to try and beat this 24 right here this evening. As these drivers, the Blackjack Racing group, they normally don't run too many official races. Some of these drivers hop in every once in a while to those officials, but normally we see the Blackjack Racing community running and racing in those hosted sessions. And if you're a driver looking to jump in on the fun and become part of this amazing community with the Blackjack Racing crew, make sure you look out for Buddy Mills Jr. in the Blackjack Racing races that they normally put on, night after night after night. They're in the hosted area here with these big block modifieds, or the 358 modifieds here on iRacing. Is Mason Cassidy looking to the outside, looking for the race lead. Down across the line, he will take that top spot away from the 24 as Zach Weisenflew slides back into that second spot on the speedway. Jim Boniface right there ready to strike as well as he's continuing to roll a little bit lower than those two. He may have to try to find a little extra grip if they're on the speedway, see where that car is comfortable, and see where he can find that little bit of extra speed to race his way back into this battle for that top spot here this evening. As my boy Adam Oxley showing the love, Mary Ann Tucker also coming in again over there on Facebook, says this is such an amazing thing that his family gets to see, what he always loved to do. Thank you to everyone for showing your support in his memory. Mary Ann, we couldn't have said it any better up here in the broadcast booth. We can't enjoy this enough, having his friends, his family, and everyone here a part of this amazing event here in memoriam of Christopher Tucker. Man, it's such a special race, such a special event, and for one of these drivers, even for our top three, it's gonna get emotional up here in the chat real quick here, as these drivers, such good friends and competitors out there on the racetrack with Christopher, now going to be able to win this memorial race in his honor, and being able to put yourself into victory lane. What it's going to feel like is going to be very emotional, and for even a driver like Mason Cassidy, who's won some big races, has been around the block for quite a little while, this is going to be such a special event here for him to be able to try to pick up this win as he leads the way over a second lead now between himself and Zach Weisenflew as he continues to open up this race lead. You see that 213 ride struggling, trying to find his way around that 24 of Zach Weisenflew, as Weisenflew trying to stay in position number 2, is down across the line. Only 6 more laps left to go here from Lanier. 6 more laps of racing action as Mason Cassidy looking to try to pick up that checkered flag, and now joining the top 10, it's Pops in that beautiful Christopher Tucker Memorial paint scheme up inside the top 10 now. Pops racing his way, putting on a great show for us here this afternoon, trying to hold off Mike Brewer, trying to hold off that 0-11 of Randall Dixon as they work to his inside and his outside, but having Christopher right on board here with him this afternoon. We're glad to see this 360 ride up inside the top 10, battling hard here late in the race. As out in front, Mason Cassidy down into corner number 3. Nice and easy, we'll round corner number 4, and we'll see 3 more laps of racing action here this evening, as he's got that 3 car right in front of him, trying to figure out how to navigate some of this lap traffic, knowing that it could play a factor, but he has such a big lead now, over 2 seconds with only 2 laps left to go. He's trying to make quick work of this 3 machine, hoping to see this race stay clean and green for at least 1 more lap, not wanting to see that caution flag, not wanting to go to overtime here this evening at Lanier. Is down into corner number 3. Look out, the 3 ride losing it, but ends up into the pits. No caution flag, as the white flag will be displayed for the final time here this afternoon. Mason Cassidy will round corner number 2 and head down the back straightaway here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. The 17 ride of Mason Cassidy will pick up the checkered flag and pull this 17 ride into a very emotional victory lane here at Lanier National Speedway, as Mason Cassidy, able to get it done, picks up the win with Zach Weisenflew back there in position number 2, and Jim Boniface rounding out our top 3 as they wreck down after the checkered flag, as Cassidy gonna get ready to celebrate as he pulls himself up and into the Lanier National Speedway victory lane here on the front straightaway. Our second place driver Zach Weisenflew gonna join him here on the front stretch, and we will see that 213 ride of Jim Boniface. He's gonna pull up here as well, and Pops in that beautiful 360 ride going to join these drivers with Christopher Tucker on board with them here this evening up it into victory lane here. Pops able to come home in position number 9. An absolutely amazing run there for that 360 machine. Back up inside the top 10 here this afternoon, but picking up the dub. The driver with the win here this evening. It is that 17 ride of Mason Cassidy's. Cassidy getting the job done here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get some congratulations in the comment section right now for Mason Cassidy and all these amazing drivers getting this event started, getting this event underway, and putting this all together in memory of Christopher Tucker. And let's get some RIPs up in the chat there for Christopher Tucker as well. I didn't know him personally, man, but from what I've heard from all these drivers and what we're about to hear here in the post-race interviews, it's probably going to get very, very emotional up here, ladies and gentlemen. So get your tissues ready and get ready to hear what these drivers have to say about such an amazing race, such an amazing event for one of their very close friends, someone that they would even call part of their family here this evening, as we'll get ready to pull Mason and the rest of our top 3 up here into the broadcast booth. We may even pull in some of the other drivers here as well for this one, for the post-race interviews. That's, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Mason Cassidy. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey Mason, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Mason, man, what a run, what a drive here for you, as we saw you working yourself methodically, slowly but surely through that traffic, not only trying to be patient and keep yourself out of trouble, but trying to keep those tires underneath of you and save a little bit for late in this race, and you use them at the correct time as you're able to quickly put that power down and race your way to the front of the field, getting around Zach Weisenflew and then running away with this checkered flag here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race. Man, take us back through this race and how it feels to be up here in victory lane in such a special event.
It feels pretty good. Been racing with the Blackjack crew for a while, and they're a bunch of good guys and always willing to help you out. And I raced with Tucker a lot, and it just it's horrible what happened, but feels good to put on a good show. I messed up there in the heat race and had to work my way up, but it put me in the back there, so I just figured I'd go ahead and save tires as much as I could and made that pounce when I was ready.
Absolutely, definitely pouncing on the opportunity and racing your way up here to a big win here in this Memorial Race for Christopher Tucker. Man, take us through those final laps as you were counting down these laps and waiting to see that white flag fly and then that checkered flag. Were you getting a little bit emotional out there on the racetrack, knowing how much this race meant to so many people, not only up there on the racetrack with you, but up there in the grandstands cheering on each and every one of you drivers here this afternoon?
Yeah, when I made the pass for the lead there, and I looked down and just started counting down the laps and just started getting nothing but goosebumps and butterflies of just it feels good to win a race like this, and also for all the guys to put on a race for them, and it's a special thing that people do for good people, and it's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, an awesome run and a great drive by you here this afternoon as you park that 17 ride up in the Lanier National Speedway victory lane. Mason, who would you like to thank, man, for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Of course, all the guys, Blackjack guys, for putting it on. They're great guys, awesome people to run with. My buddy Jesse, I run with him during the week, and he's always helping me out and giving me tips on how to get faster. And but other than that, I joined the Blackjack guys and haven't been able to run as much with them, trying to get ready for a race I'm doing up in Georgia in a couple weeks. So should be fun, and that's about it. And also you for broadcasting. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely, brother. No better place to be than up here in the broadcast booth and being able to put on such an amazing race and such an amazing event here for all of Chris's friends and family and teammates, drivers alike, to be able to celebrate here this afternoon and enjoy some great racing action. Mason, congratulations on the win here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race here this evening, brother. And we can't wait to see you guys back up there on the racetrack and into some more action here in the future on Peacemaker Gaming.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night and don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner as Mason Cassidy picking up the dub in pulling that 17 ride up and into Victory Lane here this evening. As we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, it's Zach Weisenflew in the 24 ride, able to hold on to that second spot here this evening and pull that 24 up and onto the podium. Let's see if we can get Zach up here again for the second time this evening into the broadcast booth. Hey, Zach, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
I gotcha.
Zach, man, what a run, what a race. You're out in front there, leading it late in this one. Unfortunately, just couldn't hold off Mason Cassidy for the race win, but you hang on, hold off Jim Boniface and park that 24 ride up here in position number 2 in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race, man. Take us back through this race, and what's going through your mind right now is to park down here on the front straightaway.
I'll be honest, the nerves were definitely going as soon as I got to the lead. I know the heat race, it was definitely a big thing to win the heat race, but the invert, it made it tough, but it made it interesting starting. I think it was 9th or 10th. I knew if I just saved my tires, was able to play the cards right, we were going to be able to get to the front. I know Mason, he's always fast every single time he joins one of our rooms, and he's definitely one of the guys to beat, especially in these long races. He's very good at conserving his tires, and he found that rubber towards the middle of the track there towards the end after I got the lead, and he was able to really pull it out.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a rocket ship there late in this race, but early in this race, seeing that 10 right again at the front of the field. Jonathan Cooper leading some of this race, and now I know we talked to you prior to this event and how much it meant to you, but seeing that 10 right, seeing that 4 wide salute with the missing man formation there, how did that feel? Being a part of that, rolling out there on the racetrack and doing that during the warm-up and getting ready to go here for this feature event.
Just being able to be a part of this race and be a part of Team Blackjack, having Jonathan Cooper, Jim Bailey, and Buddy Mills out there in front with all of Tucker's paint schemes and showing off the love. I know Jim had his obituary picture on the car. It was that was a surreal feeling just to be able to be a part of it and be a part of that crew that really put on this effort and gave us a great race and gave us the best thing that we could have.
Absolutely, brother. Well, you pull that 24 Ryan up here onto the front straightaway, coming home in position number 2 in such a special event. What was going through your mind there late in this race? And as you pulled up onto that front straightaway, man, take us through some of the emotions that you were feeling out there on the racetrack.
Just being able to be a part of it and put this on for Tucker, just knowing he was here. I speak on behalf of all the Blackjack guys when I say this, is that he was probably the best teammate we've ever had. He gave us the laughs, but just being able to be a part of the top 3 on the front stretch there really meant something, and to be able to put have Blackjack on the side of the car with Tucker all in our minds and having his 1 year go by, it's a surreal feeling just being able to be a part of it and have this race and continue this race on for years to come.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Zach, it was definitely appreciation for me to be able to be a part of this and to be able to put on such a special event here in the broadcast booth and to be able to allow, all of his friends and family and teammates and everyone to, sit back and enjoy some racing action like we knew Chris loved to do. Zach, here in this one, though, you come home in second, man. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank for such a great run and great drive out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I got to thank all the guys that came together, put this race on. Team Blackjack, they really put this together and had a great format, and it was great racing all the way through the field. Heat races, feature, everything was great. I appreciate you for stepping up and helping us get this broadcasted, and thank you to his friends and family that were able to tune into the stream and watch it. And I hope they enjoyed the show that we put on and the good racing. And I hope they know that Tucker was loved by every single one of us in Team Blackjack and everyone that got to race with him. He was a blast, and I just can't thank all those guys enough for being able to do this and having the heart to put this on. And hopefully we can continue this and make this team grow and make it something even more special than it already is. Just the team. I hope we can make it known to all his friends and family that got to watch and make this a tradition or really just a memorial for him and keep this going.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Zach, we're going to let you go there on that note, brother. We'll let you jump back into the Discord with all your friends here and, celebrate and come together here with such a special event coming down and finishing here in the history books. Now, we're going to pull Jim into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview in third, but is there anyone else that you would like me to pull in here for a post-race interview as well?
I think the guys, they're a little lighthearted right now. I know their emotions are running high. I'll definitely ask them if they want to join in after Mr. Jim Boniface gets done with his interview. I'll sure to let them know and have them jump up in here once you are finished with the third finisher interview. Thank you, though. I really appreciate all you've done for us, and this stream was badass to say the least.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Zach, great run, great drive, great event, brother, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack in the next one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher. And Zach Weisenflew coming home in position number 2. A very solid run and a great drive there for the 24 machine. As we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, it's Jim Boniface. Boniface coming home in position number 3. Let's pull Jim up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jim, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
I got a copy.
Jim, man, a very solid run, a great drive for you here this afternoon as we saw you working yourself up through that top 10, through that top 5 there, and late in this race, trying to battle with Mason Cassidy and Zach Weisenflew for that race lead. Unfortunately, kind of got hung up and held up there by the 24 ride after the 17 was able to slide out in front. He was able to run away with it. He had to settle in back there in that third spot late in this race. But take us back through this one, take us through the emotions, knowing that you're able to round out this podium here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race.
Yeah, it was a scramble to get on, but I wanted to get on for Chris. We had a lot of good races with him, and honestly, I didn't even care about winning. I just wanted to put on a good show and have a good battle for Chris. So that's what we did. It was really tight racing. I think I had a smile on the whole time. Wasn't aggravated at all, and it was just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. That's the key thing, man. We know that Chris loved that. Everyone out there on the racetrack just having a smile on their face, having fun, and enjoying their time on the simulator. And I know Chris was looking down on you guys, enjoying this racing action and running on board with some of you guys here this afternoon and enjoying such a great event here this evening. What does it mean for you to be able to finish this off, though, inside the top 3 and being a part of the Blackjack Racing community here to put this all together?
These guys always put on a good event. Like I said, it's always clean. You could challenge someone a little bit. You could respect their driving back and forth. To finish third against these guys, it means a lot. It's a good accomplishment, and it was a challenging race.
Absolutely. Well, Jim, a great run, a great drive for you as you come home third here in the Christopher Tucker Memorial Race here this year. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Uh, Definitely Blackjack for putting this on. Good group of guys, make you feel like family. Obviously, Chris Tucker also. You for putting on this show. In memory of him.
Absolutely, Jim. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening and congratulations again on the third place run.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Jim Boniface's Jim coming home there in that third position, rounding out our podium here this evening as Zach hops back in here. Zach, what's up, brother?
Yeah, I just want to let you know, on behalf of everyone in Blackjack, we just want to say thank you, and emotions are flying high over this race. We just want to let you know that we really appreciate you and really appreciate his family being a part of this race. I know they wanted to say what they had to say, but emotions are running high, and I know it's a tough thing to do for those, but they just want to say thank you to you, his friends and family. We hope that it was a great race, and we're honored to be able to be here and do this for a beloved teammate and our friend Chris Tucker.
Absolutely, brother. Well, I won't pull you guys in here. I won't bug anyone else and allow you guys to kind of just hang out together, maybe do a little bit more racing here this afternoon in Chris's memory and enjoy the rest of your evening after such a great race and such an emotional race here for each and every one of the competitors here this evening.
Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate you and everything that you've done for the racing community with all these streams. You do a great job.
I appreciate that, brother, and we can't wait to see you back if they're on the racetrack.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Zach Weisenflew as he jumped back in, and let us know that the emotions, they're running high here for all these guys, man. They're running high for me up here. I'm choking up in the in the broadcast booth, man. A couple of tears to my eyes as these drivers just showing their love and appreciation for Chris Tucker, and we can't thank these guys for having me up here in the booth to be able to put on this show, to be a part of this amazing race for such an amazing person, man, and in loving memory of Chris Tucker. I'm so happy that we were able to put on this broadcast, have it run, and do such so good as well, man. Seeing so many of the friends and family and fans in the stands cheering these drivers on and showing the love up in the comment section, man. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. All these drivers for jumping out there and making this such a special event and such a great race here this evening. Unfortunately, though, we are going to call it an end there on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we cannot thank you enough for tuning in, and if you haven't already, to help these streams grow, to help them reach more and more people, to get more eyes in the sky, and to watch and cheer these drivers on, and to watch this beautiful Chris Tucker Memorial Race, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today, as we'll be back in action probably tomorrow night for a little something. I don't know what, but we're going to be back live tomorrow evening, and then we're going to get ready for another big race Tuesday night, and then every single night throughout the rest of the week here, as Monday is right now for the next couple weeks the only night I technically have off on Monday afternoons until the next series gets underway. But you guys will see me back live. We'll be putting on some more great races, some more great shows, just like here this afternoon. And I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here this afternoon. And once again, in loving memory of Christopher Tucker, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here this evening. And we'll catch you guys back here in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
In the digital world he shines bright, full send all day and all night, conquering realms with all his might. Peacemaker's here to make it right. Through the controllers battles begun, every click, every move he's won, streaming wisdom under the sun. Victory's anthem just has begun. Peacemaker gaming all day, send it full, don't sway. In the virtual lands we play, leading the charge in our own way. Pixels and wires, his domain, glory found in every campaign, shelter from reality strain. With Peacemaker there's no pain. Battles fought in every zone, from his cherries never alone. Full send on the audio tone, Peacemaker's name is known. Eyes on screens, dreams he weave. In his world you can believe. Through the levels never leave. The magic of gaming we perceive. Peacemaker, gaming all day, send it full, don't sway. In the virtual lands we play, leading the charge in our own way. Pixels and wires his domain, glory found in every domain, shelter from reality strain. With Peacemaker there's no pain. Battles fought in every zone, from his chair he's never alone. Full send on the audio tone, never leave. The magic of gaming we perceive. Spotting every zone. From his chair, he's never alone. We'll stand on the audio tone. Peacemaker's name is known.